It's day 13 of the 1 year fast. I'm feeling good. Physically, I'm feeling well. Mentally, I'm feeling alert, aware. Emotionally, no problems. I'm feeling good. In fact, I'm feeling brilliant today. Today is the 3rd of July. I'm going to fast again on the 5th. So I'll start my first day of the week 3 will be on Sunday, which will be the 5th of July. And clearly between today, 3rd of July, and the 5th of July, there is a monumental holiday in the USA. 4th of July, massive holiday. And you know, I really enjoy 4th of July. And so I've been in the US now for over 20 years. When I was first here, I came first of all in 2002. When I first arrived in 2002, slowly became acclimatized. Again, I do work on the adage of when in Rome. So I really made a concerted effort to assimilate. I feel that's critical, to be respectful to your host nation. So I did that. But I do recall in 2004, I was living in Connecticut, and I got introduced to this group of friends, and they asked me. They did battle reenactments, and they said, "Alfie, can you come along and be part of our reenactment for 4th of July?" I said, "I guess so. What do I need to do?" And they said, "Well, you need to dress up as a British redcoat, and we try to kill you." Yeah, so I kind of didn't go along with that idea. It didn't seem such a smart idea to go along with that. So I kind of politely declined that offer. But I did come along as a spectator, nonetheless, and it's fun. So all those people that do those reenactments around the US, thumbs up to you. Fantastic. And so when we think about the USA, there has been, I guess, a shift in the societal dynamic over the past 2 decades since I've been in the United States. Again, I came first time 2002, and I see the societal shift aligning really kind of quite curiously with the advent of the internet. So we think about the internet came along mid-90s. I think it was really kind of, I guess, saturated in the US in the mid-90s. I believe in Europe, the rest of the world, it was probably more towards the end of the 90s. And just as a side note, I remember creating my first e-commerce website back in 2000. And that was for kitmeout.com. And we sold some clothing on that website. You done okay, not too bad. But so the evolution of the societal shift, the dynamic shift, which does seem to be orchestrated to some extent. But I don't want to get into any conspiracy theories, but it does seem to be a bit of an orchestration, a bit of nudging going on from certain quarters. But that does align very much with the advent of the internet. And what's really got me thinking the other day is, it won't be too far away. It may be already arrived when we think about people that were born without any recollection of pre-internet. Now, clearly, people my age, we remember a time where there was no internet. And it's a very different world, wasn't it? A very, very different world. But it won't be long before there's a majority of people on the planet, and maybe it's already happened, who actually don't remember that time, don't remember a time before the internet. And that probably does influence how people think a lot. Because going back pre-internet, I guess we were very comfortable in our nation states, controlled by the national media, the national narrative. And now with the internet, it's a global entity that makes us think and act differently. And it basically opens us up to more, I guess, influence from people with different agendas, global agendas. So yeah, that alignment between societal shift and the internet became very pronounced to me as I'm living in the US and as I'm thinking about 4th of July tomorrow. And again, you know, I love the United States. I think the people are very special. I think historically, the people of America are pioneers in a way that maybe the rest of the world doesn't quite comprehend. But it's a pioneering spirit, isn't it? You know, when you look back at the history of the United States, it is really based upon people fleeing their nation state and thinking about, you know, pioneering across that continent. So yeah, I do love people of America. I do love their pioneering spirit, historical pioneering spirit. I do love their nature, their warmth. And you know what, as an English person, an Englishman that really thinks back to when I lived in the UK and how I acted differently in the UK to how I act in the US. Again, I do follow the adage when in Rome, so I do make all effort to assimilate. And it's easy for, I guess, somebody from Europe, particularly if you speak English, to assimilate within the US. But as I think back to that time, I would say one of the dynamics that really impact how English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish people act is probably related to the monarchy to some extent. You know, we look and expect somebody above to help, you know, whether that's National Health Service, social services, just in everyday life, there's an expectation that that figure will be there to help. Whereas in the US, that does not exist. There is no kind of mummy, daddy figure that is there in perception. It's all perception to help. So that really engenders the pioneering spirit. In fact, it dictates the pioneering spirit. But again, definitely changes over the past 20 years. Societal shift for sure. So still exists, but maybe tempered a touch in terms of that pioneering spirit. But again, I'm very honoured to be in the US. Looking forward to 4th of July, some reenactments. Again, I'm not going to be a British redcoat for somebody to come along and shoot at. I'm just going to be a spectator, watch some of the events, watch some of the fireworks, and yeah, just enjoy a good day on 4th of July in the USA in 2026. And then the following day, I'm going to step into my first day of fasting for week 3 of the 1 year fast. And again, next week, I'm probably going to fast. So I'm going to fast on the Sunday for sure. Again, my fasting week goes from Sunday to Saturday. So I'm definitely going to fast on the Sunday. And I'm probably going to break it out this coming week. So Sunday, take a break on the Monday, fast again on the Tuesday, take a break on the Wednesday, fast again on the Thursday. And then I'm going to take my ketone readings after each of those 24-hour fasts. In a previous video, when I took my ketones readings, the first 72-hour fast, it was 45 on the meter. The second 40-hour fast, I registered 25 on the ketone meter. And on the last 24-hour fast, I registered 0 on the ketone meter. So let's see how I register as we go into each of those 24-hour fasts, just to see if I can get some ketones up on that meter. Again, that ketone analyzer I have, the analyzer is breath-based, just to guide, very, very rudimentary, not medical grade. So it's open to some level of error. So let's see if we can get some kind of registration above 0 on either Sunday or Tuesday or Thursday. Be interesting. Okay, again, feeling really good. Day 13, 1 year fast. Looking forward to tomorrow, 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to everybody in the US. And yeah, speak again tomorrow. Thank you.